In this video, we are going to create a Flask app which can be used as an image editing software. This website will help you edit your images using Flask and Python. This is going to be very informative, so let's move on to our computer screen, grab a coffee and let's get started. So let's get started by setting up our project first. I'm going to create a folder and let's call it img edit. So let me rename this folder to image editor, and let's open this folder with VS Code. How do I open this folder with VS Code? I can simply right click, new terminal, add folder, and I can type code dot and this folder pretty much opens in VS Code. Now I can create a main.py file, and also I want to open Google Chrome. So let's open Google Chrome because I want to refer to Flask documentation. And it's always a good idea to refer to the documentation before building something because it gives you, number one, the up-to-date code. Secondly, you don't have to memorize anything and you don't run into weird errors later on. Okay, so let's search Flask documentation. And this is the Flask documentation. Let's go to quick start guide. Let me search for quick start guide, quick start, a minimal app. Okay, so this is a Flask minimal app. All you need to do is copy this and paste it in your Python file, and don't forget to type app.run debug is equal to true, and after you say app.run debug is equal to true, you can run this app. And this starts a development server. Control click to start the development server, and you can see the hello world is visible on the screen, which means the Flask is working fine. But if you are new to Python, if you are new to Flask, if you are a new coder, let me tell you, the first step is to install Python, and the second step is to install some modules like Flask. And then there is a module called CV2, which we are going to use. OpenCV is a module which we are going to use to edit our images, and I'll show you how. And it says pip not found, so I'll have to say pip3 install Flask. And as you can see, that requirement already satisfied. It says that CV2 is not found. Actually, the name of the module is OpenCV Python. Okay, and we import it by saying import CV2. So if you want to import the module, you can say import CV2. I am importing this module because I am anyway going to use this module. Okay, so the development server restarts because we have changed this main.py app, and now we are going to start building our app. So the first step is to create a folder called static and another folder called templates. And let me show you what these two folders will do. Any file you place inside static, let us call it file.txt, and let's say I am a file. This can be seen by anybody who has the URL to the server. So I can say /static/file.txt, and I am a file is visible, which means that this file is public, and you have to be very careful what you are putting inside of static folder, because anything you put inside static folder is going to be available to everybody. Okay, so let's go to command palette, and I want to toggle screencast mode because this will show you the keys I'm pressing and what I'm typing, at what point it will be visible to you. All right, so we have a static folder, we have a templates folder, but if you have any confusion, let me clear it. The main.py file is not visible on the server. You cannot access the main.py file by doing this. Some people have this confusion and they think that why can't I access main.py when I can access /static/file.txt. Static is a special folder name which, if created inside your app root, any file you place inside static folder will be publicly available. Okay, so this is how this static folder works. Now what is this templates? You can import a render template from Flask, and if you import render template from Flask, you can do something like this. You can say render template index.html, and you can place a template called index.html inside this templates folder. And if I say tab I am index and then tab I am index.html. Okay, and you can always go to command palette and toggle word wrap if you don't want to see this horizontal scroll bar, which sometimes gets annoying. But if I'm coding alone, I always prefer this horizontal scroll bar because I don't have to see each and every line of my code completely. Okay. So this main.py is now serving index.html, which is the name of a template, and this template has to be placed inside index.html templates folder. Okay. Now if I go to my project root, I think the development server has stopped because while I was typing there were some errors, so you might have to start the development server again. And I'm waiting for the development server to start. I think there is some issue. No, there is no issue, but why is this not returning anything? So let's see what's wrong. App.root slash let me restart the server. I think I'll have to restart the server. Let's restart the server and control click, and it doesn't work. I don't know why. You don't have authorization to view this page. Okay, so let me see what's wrong here. So I ran into this issue, and apparently this 5000 port is used by Mac OS. So if you are on Mac, we can change the port. You know what, I can do something like this: port is equal to, and I can say 5001, and we can always use this 5001 port, which defaults to 5000, but we can always say port is equal to 5001, and we can, you know, enjoy our life. This works. Okay, so I am index.html. I don't know why this issue occurred, but we can always change the port, and I don't know why this is, you know, even giving me an error. But again, let's not discuss much about it. I think Mac OS is already using the port 5000, which is why we were getting this error. Okay, now we are getting this index.html text from this index.html file, which means that if I edit this index.html, I'm going to see the content here. So let's go to Bootstrap. I'm going to go to getbootstrap.com, which is a library, and it can be used to create quick front ends. Now, a lot of people comment on my videos and they say that why are you not using Tailwind? Why are you not using Chakra UI? Why are you not using raw HTML, CSS, JavaScript? Actually, this is a video using which I want to demonstrate Flask, and I don't want to demonstrate the UI. So feel free to use the UI of your choice. Okay, so let's now copy this Bootstrap CSS. Okay, so this is a starter template which we can always copy. Let's copy this, and if I copy and if I paste it here, I can see this hello world on my screen. So let's see if I'm seeing this hello world. Yes, I can see this hello world, which means that Bootstrap is working just fine. Okay, so this hello world is visible, and I want to replace this hello world with a navbar. So if you are new to Bootstrap, you can simply copy paste components from this page. I'll go to navbar as I'm interested in a navbar. So let's click on navbar. Let's copy this, and also let's change the title of our page. So I can go back to this and I can replace this h1 with a navbar, and let's call this image edit. So edit your images online. Okay, so let's say I'm creating a website using which anybody can come and edit their images online. Okay, so this is how they can do it. And I want to also call this image edit. I want to add my branding to the navbar so that it looks good. You can always go and change the UI, dark navbar, this, that, everything can be done. Okay, let's focus on file uploads. Let's focus on Flask, and let's create a container here. So after this navbar is done, I want to set div.container, and container is a class in Bootstrap which gives a max width container. And I want to add an h1, and I want to say upload an image to edit online. Okay, so let's see how it looks. So upload an image to edit online. You can always center it by adding a class text center. You can also change the font size. You can also add margin at the top and at the bottom. Anything can be done. Okay, now I'm interested in a form. So let's go to Bootstrap website and let's go to form. Okay, so I'm searching for form overview. Okay, so let's see if I can get a form, and all I need is a file upload. Okay, so file input group. Let's search for file, custom file input. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So let's select this one. Okay, so let's select this select, and let's also select this custom file input. Choose file, no file chosen. So I'm going to select this first one. This looks pretty good to me, and I want to close everything inside a form. So action is equal to /edit, and enc type is equal to multi-part form data, and you will have to add this because we want to get all these files inside of our Flask. And method is equal to post. So method can be get or post. We are adding post because we want to send the files to the server. The first thing is to select the file. So let's call it file. So I want to name this as file. For is equal to file, type is file, okay, ID is file, and name should be file. So name is important. I'll say name is equal to file, okay. All right, I can format document by right clicking and clicking format document, and action is equal to this. Okay, so we have this UI at this point and it is looking pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. I want to do one thing quickly. I know that, I just said that I'm not going to focus on UIs, but this text center is not looking good to me. And also let's add some more margin, MY4. Wow, this looks even more clean. So we can upload a file, we can click on this choose file and we can add a PNG image, and then I need a select group. So let's add this one. This is looking pretty clean to me. The first one, this one. So this is the one that is looking pretty good to me. Let's go for second one because this is even better for our use case. Let's go for second one. Let's paste it here, okay? And I want to say right click, format document, and this should take care of everything. And I want to call this OP or operation. Okay, operation means that what operation do you want to perform on your image. So for is equal to operation, and let's say CJPG, and this will be convert to JPG. Then CPNG, and this will be convert to PNG. And the third one, which is very popular among bloggers. Okay, so let me replicate this, and the shortcut was Control Shift bottom. No, okay, it was Alt Shift bottom. Okay, actually I work with different editors and I keep on forgetting what shortcut is for what. WebP. Okay, convert to WebP. C WebP. And I think we are good at this point. So we have selected or added 4 options to our select menu. Convert to JPG, it can be convert to WebP or convert to PNG. UI looks pretty clean. I'm pretty impressed with the UI. And I want to add a button. And I remember the classes for button in Bootstrap, but in case you don't, I want to show you how to get the button classes. If you want to add this button, simply copy this. If you want to add this button, simply copy this. If you want to add this button, which is in disabled state, and you might not want to add this to this particular app, but I just want to show you. And there is another button like this, custom button. As you can see, you can always create a custom button, but I don't want to create a custom button at this point because I just want to use something which is available. And I'll show you another thing. If you copy this and if you paste it here, and let's say type is equal to submit, and let's say submit, and let's see how the app looks. It looks pretty clean. You can always change the navbar, and let me show you one more thing, that this entire thing is responsive. Wow, it is responsive. Yes, it is looking pretty good. If you choose to access this app on your iPhone, you can do that. It is by default responsive. I didn't do anything to make it responsive, which is a beauty of Bootstrap. Okay, all right. So you can choose a file and then you can choose the operation. Choose operation. Let me call it choose operation. Choose edit operation. Okay. And choose edit operation, JPG, PNG, WebP. Awesome. Now all I need to do is take this file, send it to the server, and it says that there is no edit on the server. So the next step is to create an endpoint for edit. Okay. So let's replicate this. Let's call this /edit, and after I say /edit, I want to call this function as edit, and I want to add one more parameter here. Methods is equal to get, and I also want post because I want to post the file. Now I can say if request.method equals to post, if somebody is coming up with a post request, I want to first upload the file to the server. But in order to upload the file to the server, we should have a file. So let's Google search or rather search the Flask documentation, how to upload a file in Flask. And I want to open the Flask documentation because this will contain the updated code. So it says that import OS and then import all these things and then import the upload folder, or rather create an upload folder. Let me add this render template here and remove this. And also we are going to create a folder called uploads, where we'll upload the user files. Return this. Okay, secure file name. At this point, I'm simply copy pasting the code. Okay, I'm simply copy pasting the code. So app is equal to Flask name and all these things I'm replacing with this. And I want to say the upload folder is uploads, and these are the allowed extensions. We don't want to allow PDFs and texts. Okay, we want to allow only the image files, and you can define this in your UI as well, because if you do that, you will only allow the extension that you want. Okay, so this is the upload folder, app is equal to Flask name. All right, everything looks pretty good. Now let's upload the file to the server and let's see how upload file method works. So the first thing is they are checking the request method, and let's copy paste this code. We are going to understand it. We are Pythonistas. We are going to understand how this works. Okay, upload the file to the server. Check if the post request has the file part. Is there any file inside request.files? Because if not, there is no file. Okay, and we don't want that. So it says redirect request.url, but in this case I want to simply return error, no file received. And I want to make it really very simple. You can always add fancy UIs, fancy alerts and whatnot, but the file is going to be present because we are going to give the file, and file is equal to request.files file, and this file is actually this name attribute. So when we add this to the form, we are adding name is equal to file here. So this file will be available here. Okay, and then file name is blank, then no file is selected, and we are handling this error, but let's return this no file selected. I'm going to return this directly, no file received. I'll say no file received, and a file and allowed file.file name. Now what is allowed file.file name? This is a function which is basically checking whether your file is one of these extensions or not. Okay, now after you have done this, you can simply upload the file to the server inside of our uploads folder, and then you can redirect this. But you know what I'm going to return? I'm going to return a string. I'm going to say your file is available here. Okay, available where? Let's add an anchor tag. href is equal to /static/ and I'll have to use single quotes because I've already used double quotes here. /static/file name, and that's it. Closing anchor tag. Yes, this is going to work. Why is this going to work? Because what I'll do after this is I'll create a function called process image, which will take two parameters. The first one is file name, and the second one is the operation. And what is the operation? Operation can be received from the form. Operation is equal to request.form operation, and operation will be the value of the select attribute. It can be CJPG, CPNG, WebP, whatever you have given it. Now the next step is to create this process image function. But before that, I want to make sure that this upload part is working. And let's write pass here because I want to first check whether this process image is working or not. If it's working, we are good. We are going to proceed. But if not, we'll have to make it work first. So I think we have written a lot of code. It's time to check our code. And our server has stopped, it seems. So let's start the server once again, and yes, it is working. So let's restart and let's check whether everything is working or not. Inside this index.html, I am going to add this link when somebody clicks on home, and I also want to make sure that when somebody clicks on image edit, I want to redirect them to home. So let's reload and let's choose the file. 2.png is the file. Let's convert it to JPG and let's click submit, and it says the proxy sent a request that this server could not understand key error operation. Let's see what's wrong. So inside our select, I should add name is equal to operation. So this was the mistake. And let's reload and let's continue, and it again says that the browser or proxy sent a request that this server could not understand request.form operation. A request.form operation was not understandable by the server. Let's print request.form. Let's print file and operation. Print file and operation. And I want to make sure that I am not making any mistakes. So key error operation. Why is this showing key error operation is very important for me to understand. So I have a select, I have ID is equal to operation, and then we have different options. This should work actually. Let's see what is wrong. Request.files, request.form. Let me print request.form. Let's see if I can print request.form. Request.form, request.form. Am I importing request from Flask? Yes, I am. Let's reload unbound local file where it is not. Okay, so this is a silly error. Let me just print this request.form and request.form operation immutable multi-dict. So there is no form, there is no operation in the form. Actually, you know what? I will have to reload this and send the data to the form once again, because then only the HTML refreshes and it should work. And yes, it works. So it says that your file is available here. Let's see if this file is uploaded to the uploads folder. Wow, it is uploaded to the uploads folder. So 2.png is available here on our server, but now we have to write this function, process image, which is taking two things. The first one is file name and the second one is operation. So we are going to use OpenCV for that. Now, what is OpenCV? OpenCV is a module. It's a Python package used for processing images in Python. And there are tons of operations you can do with OpenCV. OpenCV, how to not save image. I want to find out how to convert to grayscale. And OpenCV is very easy to use. All you need to do is you need to say cv2.imread. imread is a function. The first parameter to imread is file name, and I can say upload slash file name, upload slash file name, and I want to use f string. This will read this image. I can say image is equal to cv2.file name, and then second operation is flags. Okay, let's not do anything. Let's simply go to some website which can help us convert this to grayscale. So all you need to do is read the image. You can convert it to grayscale. Let's say let's use match case in Python. Let's use match case. So match, and I want to match the operation, and I'll say case if operation is gray, and let me add this option to my select, convert to grayscale. And you can add different operations. It's very easy to add operations. Case is gray, and in case somebody has asked us to change this image to grayscale, all we want to do is convert this to grayscale, and I can say cv2.imWrite, and I want to write it to static slash same file name. Okay, I want to use the same file name, and let's use the same file name, and that's it. Okay, let's call it new file name. Control X, new file name, and I'll say new file name is equal to this, and let's write it to new file name, and let's return new file name. And whatever we are returning from this process image function will be used here. So let's say new file name is equal to process image this, and this new file name is the path. This is the path, and this will be used inside this href. Okay, and I think this should be good to go. And let's see if we can convert an image to grayscale. I'm very excited to use our app. The server has crashed, it seems. Let's simply start the server once again. I hope we don't have any errors. And let's upload this 2.png and let's select convert to grayscale, submit. Oh my god, so we have a lot of errors. It says I am right, missing required argument image. Okay, so when we say I am right, the second argument is image, which is a problem, and I want to actually use this gray. Now if I reload, let me see, yes, your image is available. Wow, so it has converted my image to grayscale. This is amazing, and I'm sure that the file is present inside this static folder. So first it uploads to this uploads folder, then it processes the image and it finally uploads it to static folder, and then it is made available to the user. Now, why are we sending user this link and saying that whenever your file is available, it will be available here? Because at times the processing might take a lot of time, and in that case we don't want our user to wait. We just want them to wait for some time and they can go and do their work, they can continue with what they were doing, and they can always come back and see their image processed and they can download it. We can also email it to them once the processing is complete. So this is something that a lot of websites do, and for doing this you can throw this function in background and you can return the file name, and you can say whenever it is processed it will be available here, or whenever the image is processed you can send them an email and you can return a text saying that your image or your processed image will be sent to your email, something like that. So we have successfully created this website which is capable of converting an image to grayscale. But let's also complete other parts. Convert to JPG, convert to PNG, and convert to WebP. Okay, so let's complete the CJPG, CPNG, and CWebP parts. And I'm going to play very safe. I'll say CJPG, and we'll say JPG is equal to this, and new file name is equal to file name dot replace and file name dot replace. And we don't want to do anything. Okay, we don't want to do anything. All we want to do is, whenever we are doing I am right, we want to write it with a new file name, and OpenCV will take care of everything. So in case you want to convert an image to JPG, all you need to do is supply it with a name with JPG extension, and OpenCV will handle the rest. So we'll say file name dot replace, or rather file name dot split, and I want to split it with dot, and I want to use single quotes because I'm already using double quotes, and I want to use the first half and then dot, or rather I want to say plus dot JPG, and I think this should work. So this is actually a variable and I want to use single quotes. So sometimes it gets very confusing, and I want to just tell you that this is an f string and this is a variable, and this variable is a string concatenation of filename.split.0, which will get me the file name without the extension, and then I'm adding this .jpg as an extension. And then I can say cv2.iamWrite, new file name this, and I want to return the new file name, and then it will convert it to JPG. And I think our image is already in JPG, it's in PNG. So let's see if this convert to JPG works or not. My server should be started. It is not. So let's start the server first. Let's go back to home. Let's choose this file. I'll choose the same file. I'll convert it to JPG, submit. Let's see if it's converted to JPG. Wow, it's converted to JPG, 2.jpg. I'm pretty amazed. I'm pretty impressed. Let's see the file sizes. I can say reveal in Finder, and let's see the file sizes. So get info. The file size of this is 741 KB, and file size of this is 1.4 MB. Interesting. And what is the file size of our original 2.png? Get info. The file size is 5.3 MB, which means that converting it to JPG has reduced the file size significantly. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so get info and 741 KB on disk. Wow. So this is something really good, and you can always replicate it and convert it to WebP. So I'll simply replace this JPG to WebP. WebP, and let's write one for PNG as well. So PNG, CPNG, okay? And that's it. You can handle the errors yourself. I'm not handling any errors, but let's see if we can convert this to WebP. Convert to WebP, submit. Okay, so your WebP image is available here. Let's see this file size of WebP. I want to see the file size of WebP. I'm pretty interested in WebP's files. It's 2.6 MB. Not bad. The file size is changing, which means that OpenCV is not simply renaming the file, but it is converting that file. And this is very impressive. Let's now add some more file extensions like .webp, and you might want to add some more file extensions like GIF. And if you want to allow some more files, you can always do that. Okay, you can always add all those files to allowed extensions. Allowed extensions will hold the file extensions which are allowed. So this was the basic Flask app that we just created. I hope you liked this, and I hope that you were able to grasp the concepts. Now, I did not focus much on the UI. I did not focus much on the aspect of flashing messages in Flask. You can always flash messages in Flask, and you can use Flask's inbuilt flash function, message flashing. You can use this, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, let me flash this message instead of returning. Let me flash this. So instead of doing this, let's return the same template and let's flash this message. So I'll say flash, and let's flash this message. I'll copy this and I'll paste it here, and I'll go back to this template, and below the NavBar, right after the NavBar, I can create an alert, and I'll show you how to do that. Message flashing, message flashing. Okay, so this is how you flash message. So I just want to see some code snippet here. Okay, so I just got it. So you can do this with messages is equal to this, and so this is the code. Let me get rid of this UL and LI as well, and I'll flash an alert. So let's get an alert, and I want to flash this green alert. So this is, and is there any dismissible alert? There is a dismissible alert in Bootstrap, which I really like. So this is a dismissible alert. So let's copy this one, and we can always make it green. I'll show you how to make it green. And inside this, I want to say message. And if you want to make it green, just say success. Okay. And this will be green after this. Now, instead of redirecting the user, we can simply say convert to WebP, submit, and our message will be flashed. Okay, so it says that session is unavailable because no secret was set. Okay, so you'll have to set the secret in Flask. Let's set a secret in Flask, secret key not set. Okay, so there is a single line of code which you can always add to Flask. And this is required at times, but again, we can simply add it and this will work. Okay, so it says that your file is available, ahref here. Okay, so this is actually showing me the raw HTML. It is converting it to raw HTML, and let's see how we can fix it. Your file is available, ahref is equal to this. Okay, so this is something that we'll have to solve. This is converting it to a safe HTML, which is a problem. Okay, so we'll have to add this safe pipe. Let's add this message and save, and this should solve the problem that we were facing. So I'll click on home, I'll upload the file once again, and I'll choose an operation, convert to grayscale, and your file is available here. Wow, this is looking even better. Okay, so you can always make your app better, better and better. Somebody was asking me in the last video how to convert this to a dark navbar. You can always go back to Bootstrap's documentation and you will find out how to convert it to a dark navbar. So there are some dark navbars already available. If you want to use this one, simply copy it. All you need is navbar, bg dark, and this thing. So these three classes, that's all you need. Let me show it to you. Okay, let me show it to you. So these are the classes: navbar, expand, lg. I want to add these two classes as well. I'll get rid of this and let's paste it, and this should convert this navbar to a dark navbar. Yeah, it is converting it to a dark navbar, and you can always play around with UI. Again, it is very easy to change the UI. It is very easy to create further pages like about, contact us. There is a lot that could be done. Okay, so choose your file. Let's try it with some other image. I don't have any other image. File 0.jpg. Let's try it with a JPG file, and let's try to convert this JPG to grayscale. Submit. Your file is available here. Okay, so it converted this to grayscale. Also, I want to add one more thing very quickly, and that is target is equal to underscore blank attribute, underscore blank. This will automatically open this link in a new tab. Okay, so let's choose this file, edit operation, convert to JPG, submit, and the moment I click it, it has been converted to JPG. Wow. Now a lot of people might have concerns regarding the security of this app because this is publicly uploading the images. In that case, you can always add a layer of security by introducing tokens. You can add tokens, and only if the token matches, you can serve the files. And in that case, you will not upload it to the static folder. Rather, you will upload it to some other folder and serve that file manually using an endpoint. Okay, so try to do that. Try to figure it out. Try to go to Google and search about all these things. Another thing is that you can always play around with the code that Bootstrap is providing you. In this case, Bootstrap is providing me this alert, and I can always play around with this alert. I'll show you what can be done. You can always add paddings, margins of your liking. In this case, as you can see that this already has some margin at the top, I guess. Padding right is 3 rem. If I say margin 0, padding 0, or rather if I say padding, if I add padding to this alert success, if I say py2, I think this will further reduce the padding. So some people like their alerts to be a little bit thinner. And you can also vertically center this button, and this button has some padding. I think we'll have to play around with its padding as well. So yeah, UI takes time. You will have to agree with me. But at this point, we are focusing just on logic. So let's not focus much on UI, but this is how you do it. I'm going to reward it because I love the UI that Bootstrap generates by default. I love this default alert. So I've rewarded it, but feel free to change the UI as per your liking. And that was all about this video. I hope that you will be able to add more features to this app. Feel free to add it to your resumes. Feel free to add some more features to this app because this is pretty amazing, and this is something you can actually host and start getting some traffic on your website. You can also add some paid features, and you can ask people to pay for some of the stuff that you are doing, but make sure that if you're asking people to pay, you'll have to provide the service, and you will have to make sure that the money of your customers is worth it. Okay, people love to pay for software as long as it is useful to them, as long as it is adding some value to their lives. So I hope that you like this video, and try out different things. Let me know in the comment section what kind of features you are planning to upload to this app. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.